Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to arrange your tracks like a pro. So if you have any problems with arrangement, maybe you don't know how to structure your tracks properly, make sure to watch this video till the end, and by the end of this video you'll be able to structure and arrange your tracks like a pro. In this example we're going to be breaking down my own track, which I have released 1 year ago approximately. Yeah, it's very short actually, so if I were to do it now I think I would make it just a tiny bit longer. So let's do something like that, like an outro. So right now it's 2 minutes 30 seconds long, and this is a perfect format for a radio track. And here guys, so let's start with an intro, because the intro is the first thing the listener, the DJ, gonna hear. And the intro of your track will depend a lot whether it's a radio mix or a club mix. So in this example, it's a radio mix, but let's try and make it an extended. So I'm gonna move everything. And let's add like an intro. Yep, so we've got an intro, and now our track is 3 minutes long. So this is more like a club format. So yeah guys, let's start with the intro. In the intro you can add basically anything you want, and the intro is usually from 16 to 32, 33 bars, so around 1 minute. In some club tracks the intro can be 1 minute long. And yeah, as I mentioned, it depends on whether you'd like to make a radio mix or an extended version. But in general, what you need to add in the intro is basically drums, some like can be kick and the bass with some filter, or you can start with the kick and the bass like just straightforward at once. And yeah, you can add something catchy like vocals, like main melody, so you can tease it a little in the intro, or you can just, yeah, as I said, start with the beat, and slowly you're gonna develop the arrangement, and you're gonna be adding some elements here and there. But yeah, in general the intro is made for DJs so they can mix it, and usually not a lot of things are in the intro. But yeah, it's again up to you how you would like to make your own tracks. Maybe you can add something, maybe you don't want to add anything, so yeah, up to you. And yeah, after the intro you can have, in this case I have like a breakdown, and in the breakdown you can have, so let's listen what elements I have in my breakdown, like once again. Oh, yeah, I think it's right. Yeah, let's listen one more time. Yeah, as you guys can see, in the first half of the break I have some chords. You can have some melodies, some effects, yeah, some white noise like this one. Yeah, let me show you. Really simple. One more riser here. Yeah, with the filter, really simple stuff. And we also have some big drums, like those ones. Again with the filter. Yeah, as you guys can hear, the phaser, it adds an interesting psychoacoustic dimension into your tracks. And yeah, you can use some effects, some creative effects to add on your elements, to your elements. And yeah, basically the first part of the breakdown, some chords, some element which captures your attention, and in the second half of your breakdown, we can develop that idea. We can add some drums, some movement, maybe some snares, and some rises, of course, some white noise stuff. So it sounds like that. Yeah, one more interesting thing you can do to your arrangements, you can add like those drum fills. Something like that sounds really cool. And also here, guys, you can hear the brass. So if I solo the brass, it adds like, I don't know, some character to the sound, to the track, makes it more interesting. And try adding some effects, some, you know, melodies, maybe some chords, some little things which will make your arrangement more interesting. So that's the thing you should be doing if you want to make if you want to take your arrangements to the next level. And from there, the main part of the track starts. And here I usually stick to the rule that I have two times 16, so like 2 loops. So one loop is 16 bars long, so I count it like as a square, as like one big piece of the track. And yeah, so usually I do 2 times 16, and after that, if that's a radio kind of format, I start my breakdown, which we're gonna talk in a minute. And here we have the melody. So when the main drop starts, here, guys, as you can hear, we are adding some drums, some cymbals, and one more thing which you want to do to your drums, to your instruments, to your effects, is to add movement or introduce new elements. So like in this case, the cymbal. So here you can listen without. I'm also adding some percussion, and when the drop starts here, I've just started with the clap. It's really simple, but those tiny changes, they really make a huge impact on the listener. So even with less amount of instruments, you can achieve really interesting sound. If you play around with your instruments, if you add movement like filters, you can automate effects in your synthesizer or effects which you use on the track itself. And by doing those small changes, you will keep that original sound of the arrangement of the track, like the initial idea, and yeah, it will sound just more interesting. You can add some effects like here, so like some white noise, but it's really simple. Don't make your arrangements like overcrowded with a bunch of elements, but bunch of effects which you don't really use, because yeah, that is not what you want to do for your tracks. And here, guys, I'm adding some piano. So as you can see, some movement here and there. So this is the first half, this is the second. I've had the melody here, then we have a gap, we are adding some chords, some piano, but really simple stuff, guys. Nothing like that complicated. And here, guys, usually before I start with the breakdown, I use a filter on the kick and the bass channel. So as you can hear, basically it makes your transition more natural, like more smooth, because if we wouldn't use the filter, the transition would be too fast, and yeah, it should be really smooth, and I would say like it should flow. It should flow like water, like a river, like a stream. Like should really smooth, really natural. But you also need to think about the contrast as well. And yeah, what else? I think that is all for the main drop. And here, basically, I've just copied the breakdown which I've had in the beginning. Here, you can do the same, or you can start with a new breakdown. It's gonna depend a lot, like on the format of your tracks, because sometimes when I make a club track, I don't usually start like with the breakdown here in the beginning. I usually start with the beat, and I'm slowly adding some more elements, developing the arrangement, and this is it. So I don't really use those kind of breakdowns in the beginning, but you can do that if you'd like. So that there's absolutely no problem. But in some cases, if you just copy and paste, it can sound a bit boring. But in this case, even though I've copied the same breakdown, you can still add some melodies, add some vocals, maybe add some new effects. So just add new stuff or work with the stuff you already have recorded. That is also one of the options you can do. And here, basically the same thing, but in the second drop, I'm changing the bass, guys. And I think, I'm not sure about the melody, but let's listen. I think maybe it's another melody, because I haven't listened to the track quite long. Yeah, as you guys can hear, basically almost the same thing, but the new bass, the new melody, they make the track more interesting, I would say. They add some of the character to the sound. It's still the same. It's still the same idea though, so it's not that hard. So you just play around with the elements you have, like around that idea. You can add some elements here and there, some effects, some vocals would be nice to add, like in the track. Yeah, I think that was all with the arrangement, guys, because I've shown you basically everything. Yeah, guys, so it's in most cases about the simplicity, because the simplicity is the key. If you can make your track sound interesting with less amount of instruments, that is really, I would say, hard skill to learn, because I remember myself when I was just starting making music, I've always added bunch of instruments, bunch of effects, resampled stuff. Yeah, it's interesting in the beginning, but make sure to stick to the main idea. So if you can stick to maybe the bass is the key of your track. So you take the bass, you develop it through the track. You can add some instruments which work together with your bass, but you still have the same idea. So you should determine which elements are your key elements and develop your idea around that element, or elements if you have many. And yeah, basically that is it. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. If you want me to make a tutorial about something like you have problems with, let me know as well in the comments. And before I end with the video, I want you to do a couple of things. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow my Instagram profile as well. I post stories, like a bunch of interesting content, and yeah, there are a lot of things happening right now. The photo shoot, because I'm trying to take my social media and the brand seriously, so a lot of new stuff will be happening during this week, next week. And yeah, I've planned a lot of interesting content for you guys, and you'll see very soon. That was all for today. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.